Yo, 2020, I feel like it's been throwing punches at us since the year began, but you know what? I'm here for it and I'm going to be strong all the way. I don't know if you're with me, but if you're with me, let's do this, because you cannot let 2020 win. Let's not let 2020 win, because we are controlling 2020. You get that? I went to bed really late last night. It's not even morning anymore, but I was educating myself on everything that is going on in the world right now. I'm really speechless about what's going on at the moment because my heart cannot take it. But then I also realized that because I'm black, I do not know everything that the black people went through. Yes, we got taught this stuff in school back home in Africa, but then I also realized that a lot of the stuff that we were taught is not really what happened, and it's so painful. So if you're out there and you're watching this, I kindly urge you to educate yourself, no matter where you're from in the world. This is not only an American cause, it's a world cause. We are all in this together. We are all humans, so please take the time to educate yourself. That being said, that's not the topic of today. Today we are going to be talking about planning, because failing to plan is like planning to fail. And with 2020 throwing all these things at us, we do not know what's going to happen in the world. So taking care of yourself is something that you have to do, and you cannot do it if you do not plan for it. There is this saying that goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So let's stop wishing, let's put in action, and let's kick 2020 to the curb, because we're going to get out as winners. Okay, I feel like this is a very long intro, but you get the point. Did I drool last night? Anyway, let me get out of bed. Emotions are energy in motion. Therefore, how you start your day really matters. It doesn't matter what time you wake up, but the tone of day you set for yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. For me, it basically means I have to lay my bed, because when I lay my bed, it clears my mental space. I have to do my workout, take my vitamins, do my dry scrub for my cellulite, because how I feel determines how I look, determines how I feel, and you can check that out in the previous video. In the meantime, I'm going to finish my workout and I'll see you in just a bit. Hey Bae Squad, welcome back to the Level Up Diaries. So there is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and before we get into this planning video, I kind of want to talk to you briefly about it. There's a lot of uncertainty, and with that uncertainty, it's an excuse for a lot of us not to put in the work, to set goals and plan, and then have an excuse not to execute because of everything going on in the world. And there is something that I've learned, that things are not going to stop going on, and that is why I've decided that I'm not going to let 2020 take over my life. For real though. Like, I'm wearing this sweater, by the way, because it makes me seem like, you know, one of those really smart girls in class, because it has these buttons. I think I talked about it on Instagram sometime. That's really irrelevant, but yeah, because we're about to get into numbers, I thought it would look so cool. Anyway, like I was saying, with all this uncertainty, it's an excuse for us to not put in the work yet. This is a time where we should be putting in the work. What happens is that the people that put in the work during difficult times are the ones that are most likely to make it when these difficult times end. So right now is the time to put in the work. And I know I'm the kind of person that if I set a goal, I'm most likely not going to put in the work. I have like lots of notebooks where I have to do lists but don't do anything because I'm overwhelming myself, where I've spent a lot of time doing research on how I can level up, how I can improve my life and all that stuff, and I end up doing all these things, creating vision boards and doing all that stuff. Yes, all that stuff works, but let me tell you something, a vision board is not what's going to put in the work. You are what's going to put in the work. So how do you put in the work? I'm going to show you a step-by-step easy process on how you can plan your life without being overwhelmed, without feeling like, oh my god, I have all these things to do. Sometimes you overwhelm yourself. When you overwhelm yourself, you tend to do nothing. I don't know if that happens to you, but I'm the kind of person that sets goals and never reach them. But the system I'm going to teach you today is going to help you be accountable to yourself. I'm so sorry, the light reflection is in my glasses, I just realized. But yeah, listen, leveling up from the ground up is not the easiest thing, because we are starting from scratch, and starting from scratch means making it as simple as possible and making it doable for you. Do not follow what anyone is telling you. Even the things I'm going to share with you, just follow the blueprint. Do not copy exactly what I'm doing, because what works for me is not going to work for you. Might work, but possibilities are it might not work. So let's go over to my dining table and let's start planning. Now, I don't know if you guys watched the last video, but if you watched the last video, it was the introduction to the Level Up Diaries, and I was explaining to you guys how you can get ready mentally to level up, you know. So if you haven't watched that video, you need to go check it out, because I talked about clearing your mental space, because when you clear your mental space, you declutter, and when you declutter, that's when you know the places that you need to make changes in your life. Now, a lot of people tell you which parts of life to change. I'm not going to tell you which part of life to change, but let me tell you which parts of life I'm trying to change for myself. Like I said, little baby steps. Normally when I'm making goals and setting things like that, I do have big goals. I told you guys I have plans to make 10K a month in my business, and in order for those plans to take place, that is like the big goal. I can't focus on that big goal because I've been focusing on it for years, like 3 years, ever since well, not 3 years, about 2 years, and I did not reach that goal because I'm focusing on the end goal instead of setting systems in place. Now, the rest of this video is going to be showing you how I put those systems in place, and now I'm going to turn you guys over to my notebook so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, and you can do the same for yourself. Okay, so technically what I'm going to be doing right now is dividing my page into 4 parts, and the reason why I'm dividing my page into these 4 parts is because it's like a mind map. Sorry about this, the tripod blocked me over there. So I'm dividing it into 4, but you get to divide it how many times you want. If you want to work on 2 things in your life, 3 things, make it doable for you. Do not divide 4 because I divided 4. You can do 3, you can do 2, you can do however many you want. Okay, I feel like my phone is not stable enough. It's shaky. Oh my god, I hope it's good. It's shaky because the tripod is on. If you see where my phone is standing right now, it's really funny. Anyway, I personally decided to divide my 4 parts into 2. Actually, I've divided this into 4, but technically I'm working on only 2 aspects of my life that I've divided into 4 parts, which makes it so much easier for me to digest. And how have I done that? The first thing I want to work on is health. So for health, I want to work on physical health. Apart from physical health, I also want to work on my mental health. These are 2 different things that people tend to confuse, but actually mean 2 different things, you know, because you can work on your physical health, you can work out, you can eat healthy, but you're not working on yourself mentally. And if you don't work on yourself mentally, chances are you're not going to work on yourself physically. Also, if you do not work on yourself mentally, chances are you're not going to work on so many different aspects of your life. That's why we are very answerable. That's why it's one of those things that during the day you're going on about your day, and because you haven't worked on mentally, someone is going to easily distract you, and it's going to distract your mood. Yet if you work on yourself mentally, no one is going to distract you no matter what goes on. That is why I'm saying, despite what's going on in the world, we need to move on and continue growing, because if we don't, we're going to stay stagnant, and this stuff is going to affect us. Anyway, talking too much, let us continue. Now, the other part I want to be working on is going to be my business and finance. That is going to be my financial. Here I'm going to put finances, and under that there are things that I have to do in order to improve my finances. When it comes to finances, I have this big 10K months goal for now, yeah, but in order to make the 10K months, I need to figure it out. I need to figure out all my streams of income. This is the thing, the finance part is really big, and it's where a lot of us get that blockage. Under finances, one of the things that I know that I have to do in order to improve my business is be on social media, improve my social media presence and stuff like that. And that is why my 4th block is going to be social media. If I don't write it down, I'm not going to be focusing on it so much. That is why I wrote it down, so that at the end of the month, when I'm evaluating myself, I can look at this notebook and I'm like, oh my god, where did I fail in finances? I know particularly if I did not put in work on my social media, then nothing is going to happen. And these are the videos I'm creating for you guys in order for me to create awareness for myself and also help you. You know what I mean? So I'm showing up. If I didn't write it down, I would not be putting in the work actively, because since this year began, I knew that I had to record videos. Just because I didn't plan it, I kept on making excuses, and now I'm not making any more excuses. Anyway, let us move on. Oh my god, I talk too much. I'm so sorry about this, but just hang with me. This is going to be some quality information. So under physical health, this is what I do. I break down everything depending on how I want to achieve it. So what I want to do physically, I already do this, but I write it down just to always remind myself, work out at least 3 to 5 times a week. Another thing you guys might know that I'm working on right now, if you're following me on Instagram, which by the way, if you're not, what are you waiting for? I'm much more entertaining, and I talk about way more things than I talk about on YouTube. Like, it's in real time, and you're missing out on a lot if you're not, because I motivate you a lot more there. If you feel like you're motivated here, I feel like you love my Instagram page too much. So I'm going to leave my Instagram handle over here somewhere on the top of the screen. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions. So like I was saying, I've been lately practicing to do my handstands and my splits because I really want to become stronger. It's not about losing weight for me anymore. It's about being strong. I noticed that my arms were really weak, and because of that, it just motivated me to try and do handstands. Right now I'm practicing handstands. I don't know why, but I feel like it makes me feel good. It makes me feel strong, and I'm doing it because it helps me mentally. If I feel good physically, then mentally I just always feel good. That is why I want to do the handstands. I don't know. It's something that is going to make me feel good, and I'm doing it for me, and for you it's going to be something different. Another thing I'm going to be focusing on is eating healthy at least 80% of the time. So 80% of the week I have to eat healthy because it's 80-20 rule, and this 80-20 rule can be used in so many different scenarios. One scenario is 80% what you eat, 20% working out. This scenario is 80% eating healthy, 20% eating what I want. And sometimes it's not even unhealthy, it's just less nutritious. I hate using the word unhealthy because those are the things that mess with you mentally. Anyway, another thing that I want to do is make sure that I take my supplements every day. I just started taking supplements this year, and my mom came to visit me and she introduced me to taking supplements. I used to take them before, but I never really knew the effect they had. Well, I wasn't really educated about supplements until I came to Canada. It's not that I didn't know about them. I used to take supplements, but I did not know the benefit and why people kept on taking supplements. So I'm actively choosing to take my supplements every morning as part of my morning routine. Now, another thing I'm going to be working on is mental health. A lot of us ignore mental health, but it's baby steps. Like I said, you don't have to do so many things. And for me, what I really want to do when it comes to my mental health, I want to make sure that I meditate daily, journal at least weekly. I used to journal a lot last year when I was going through a difficult time, but this year I kind of took a notch back and I want to put it in practice again. That is why I'm saying it's something that I want to work on personally. And then another thing when it comes to mental health that I want to work on is checking with my feelings all the time. I told you guys in the previous video that I had this syndrome where I like to please everyone. Like I have people pleasing syndrome, and it's not exactly pleasing people, it's just wanting everyone around you to be happy, and because you want them to be happy, you become a yes person. But I realized that saying that yes is messing with me mentally. So every time these days I say yes to something, I have to check in with myself if it's something I actually really want to do. Sometimes I take a while to say yes because I'm really checking in with me. Other times I actually say no instantly because I've done that same thing in the past and it made me feel some kind of way. And these days I really don't care if it's going to make another person happy. I care if it makes me happy, because if I'm happy, everyone else around me is happy. Whereas if I'm not happy and I'm not happy with you for something you made me do, we're all not going to be happy. You know, I'm not going to be happy with you, and that energy is going to transfer to you and you're going to feel it. Whereas if I'm honest with you, then you would know that I'm honest with you. Anyway, at least that's how it works for me. I like honesty. Honesty is like the best thing ever. So yeah, checking in with myself is something that I've chosen to do. Now, when it comes to finances is the one thing that holds back a lot of us when it comes to so many things. You want to start a business, you tell yourself you don't have enough money. You want to lose weight, you're like, oh my god, I can't afford a personal trainer, I cannot afford healthy food and all that stuff. So that is a separate video. But also on the note of finances, personally, how I make my money is through my social media. That is why I had to put a separate part for social media. And for me right now, I've decided that I want to create 2 to 3 YouTube videos every week, 2 to 3 Instagram posts, show up on stories every day, have a live video at least once a week, find people to collab with so that I can expand my reach. So if you're watching this video and you know someone that I can collab with, kindly DM me on Instagram and let me know, and then I will reach out to them. Because, or maybe you just want to see me and that person's point of view together, I will reach out to them and see if we can do a collab. Here is the thing, most people get this part done and they write down each and everything they need to do. However, they do not create time for it. That is why I told you guys in the last video that it's important to create time to plan. Writing this stuff down kind of just takes things out of your brain, but that doesn't mean that you have created the time to do it. And if you do not take the initiative to allocate time to these tasks, then they're never going to be done. And the mentality I like to go with when I'm doing this is baby steps daily. You do not have to do all these things at once. Even if it takes you doing one thing every day or doing one thing every week, then just do that, because practice makes perfect. And if you do not practice certain things, if you do not create habits like I talked about in the previous video, then you are wasting time. What I like to do is get onto my computer. I have this app called Asana, for example, is go go on each and every one of these things and say, okay, for working out 3 times, which 3 times am I going to work out? I go on my computer on Asana and I do it. I'm not going to show you exactly how I do it, but there's so many videos teaching you how to use Asana or whatever organizational tool that is out there. Before, I used to use Trello, and before that I used to use Google Calendar. So you can use whatever, be as basic as possible. Even if you need to write it down and make a calendar, like a written calendar, do that. The sun keeps coming in and out, that's why the color keeps changing. But technically, for example, I said I was going to work out 3 to 5 times a week. Which 3 to 5 days a week do I want to work out? Do I want to work out Monday to Thursday? Do I want to work out over the weekend? It's up to you. Do I want to work out in the morning? Do I want to work out in the evening? It is up to you, like it is up to me. And then let me say I want to eat healthy 80%. I have to make time to make that meal plan. You guys are in luck, because after the budget thing, we're going to go into the meals. We're going to go step by step, improving our lives. And if you guys want to watch more of that, please do not forget to subscribe, because let me tell you, quality content is coming your way. Yeah, another example could be, for example, I want to do social media posts. If I do not take time to plan what I'm going to post about, time is going to come to post and I'm like, oh my god, what do I post? What do I talk about? Instagram stories, I want to show up daily. If I do not plan this stuff, let me tell you something. You think people just come on Instagram stories and show up? No, they plan this stuff, especially business owners. There's people that do it for fun, but there's people that do it with a strategy, and I want to come with a strategy. I don't want to just, you know, knock, because every day what I've been doing is knocking, and what happens when you knock, you're bound to break at a certain point. I don't want to reach that point. I did reach it technically at some point, but I do not want to hit that point again. So we're going into this strategically, okay? My last piece of advice, which is the most crucial: immerse yourself into your goals, immerse yourself into your systems, because you are who you choose to be. And let me tell you something, you guys might take it lightly, I said it in the previous video, but if you want to become something, this is how the law of attraction works. You have to become it. If you want to lose weight, the systems that you put in place, you have to become those systems. You cannot fake it till you make it. Yes, fake it till you make it works, but then when you make it, you're bound to fall back down if you get there, if you are faking it. Whereas if you create these systems and make them a part of you and actually be the change that you want to see, then you will change with the process. And let me tell you something, naturally the universe is going to work with you, because it is the law of attraction. You attract what you are. Okay, I feel like I'm ranting and talking too much as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comment section down below what you found helpful, what you're going to try from this video. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're finding these videos helpful, you will not miss the next one. As always, do not forget to stay motivated, be patient, trust the process, and spread the love. I will see you in the next one. Bye. I love ya.